So we're getting towards the end of the month, which means it is a perfect time to take stock, reset, get ourselves organized for the month ahead. If I look a mess, it's because I literally just got out of bed, but good morning team. Today we are doing my monthly reset. This is the first time that I've done the monthly reset on camera. If this is something you want to become a regular occurrence on the channel, then do let me know in the comments. But as you can see here, the first thing I started with, I actually started yesterday, which was writing out a list for myself to action today. Going in with a plan means we're more likely to execute this well. As you can see, I've broken the reset down into several different categories, and the first category we're starting with is an environment reset. Now, I mean the internal environment of my house. I do not mean the entire globe. So effectively the environment that I spend the majority of my time in, which for me is my office, which you can see is a freaking mess. And that's not the business. For the reset, we're trying to get everything back in order so we can enter the new month cool, calm, and collected. That kind of stuff. So first things first, we should probably tidy up my office. As you can see, the office has a lot of entropy to deal with. We have stuff on the floor, stuff on the desk, stuff on the chair. While I'm doing each of my reset tasks, I'm going to be keeping a list of things that need action. So for instance, like I need to get myself some storage for all this stuff in the corner. That should go on an action list. I'm calling it an action list. It's effectively a brain dump so that I have all of these kind of tasks and stuff that kind of comes up in my head on paper so that I, one, don't forget them, and two, can sort through them when we get to that stage of the reset. It's been a hot minute since I did a proper office tidy. I did like a 10-minute tidy the other day, but I didn't really achieve all that much in it, so this one was quite a mission. As mentioned, I am sorely lacking in office storage at the moment, so it probably doesn't look overly tidy by the time I finish, but that's mainly because I have a corner of stuff that needs to find its forever home. So that is certainly something that I'm adding to my brain dump in my brainstorming book. This tidy up also made me realize how sorely in need of an office declutter I am, so if you want to see that as well, let me know. From hitting record to putting away the vacuum cleaner though, this one took me about 45 minutes. So you can see we do have some things on the desk. This is a project that I'm working on today that I'm going to be filming. This is a project that I am going to film because it's a part 2 video and I need to get it done. This is obviously my current everyday journal, and that is my next everyday journal. This set of drawers used to hold my acrylic graphs, but now I have different storage for it, so I'm thinking I'm gonna use it for stickers, but it's also desk storage, thus on the desk. Not too sure where I want to put it. I need to send these pictures to Rachel. Here's the corner of things that need to find their forever home. This over here is what I fondly call the fuck it bucket. Stuff that I need to like sell or gift or get rid of. And our little corner over here are things that don't necessarily belong in the office, whether they be rubbish, cleaning cloths, bags that don't belong in my office, chocolate. With the office tidied up though, it is then time to take away the rubbish and then get started on what I'm calling my home cup list. A cup list is effectively like a bucket list, but for the more immediate future, so populated with small life-improving things rather than big life fulfillment kind of things. When I say my home cup list, I'm thinking about small things that I need to do around the house, things that maybe have been bothering me, things that need to be put away, that kind of stuff. So tiny tasks, not huge, big, life-changing projects. This very much involves just going around to each of the different rooms in my house and noting down anything that I notice. Are there things that need to be put away? Are there things that need to be cleaned? Are there things that are broken and need to be fixed? That kind of stuff. Now as I have a sufficiently populated home cup list, it's time to start on my physical reset. When I say physical reset, I mean for me, like resetting myself physically, in a way that sounds less ominous than that. The physical reset is very much about making me feel more human. So making me feel fresh and clean and ready to focus and tackle the day and all of that kind of stuff. The reason that we do this after the environment reset is because the environment reset required a lot of moving around, getting hot, bothered, and sweaty. So there's no point in me doing all of the nice kind of like, skin care and hair care and stuff when I'm gonna get sweaty from doing the environment reset. Environment reset first so that we can get hot, bothered, sweaty, blah, and then the physical reset so we can get fresh and clean and lovely feeling. I have 2 products that I'm mainly using for this. So my face mask, which is this Cora Organics exfoliating whatever, and my Redken hair mask, which, I don't know, they're both nice. They both make me feel good. I like them, so I use them. This guy needs to be used after shampooing, so I'm gonna have to actually get in the shower and wash my hair first. Whereas this one, you just put on your skin, leave on your skin. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get in the shower, wash my hair, then put this on, then put the hair mask on. So then I can wash them off at the same time, nice and easy. Part of the physical reset is also a full body scrub to get myself feeling like really nice and clean and fresh. For that, I just use like regular soap and that guy there, the loofah. Is that a loofah? I have no idea what a loofah is. That is scrub enough though. I don't need to like fully exfoliate my entire body. I don't have a product for that anyway, so Yeah, funnily enough, I'm not gonna film me in the shower, so I'll see you after that. Progress shot. Now I just gotta wait and then wash this off and stop talking because I'm getting grit in my mouth. Jumping out of the shower and getting myself properly ready for the day ahead. This involves doing my face care, putting on nice, fresh, clean clothes, and also today I'm gonna be doing my hair. This isn't something that I normally include in the reset. Usually I just let my hair dry naturally. But because I'm doing some more filming after today's reset, I wanted to get myself looking presentable. Hair done, putting on some perfume. It's Britney, bitch. And then it's back to the office for the next part of our reset. The next part of the reset is my digital reset. So this includes going through my inbox and getting rid of any emails that I don't need, sorting the ones that I do want to keep, and flagging any of the ones that require action. Each of these actions I do write into my journal so that I can keep track of what I need to do. And then the next part of the digital reset is having a look through my computer folders. So my downloads folder in particular, on the desktop, making sure we're tidying up any folder entropy, giving myself a nice clear space to work in again. The next part of my monthly reset is budgeting, and I usually try to do my budgeting once a week anyways, so this shouldn't be too big of a task, but mainly it's just having a look at how was our spending this month. Did we overspend in any categories? Is there anything we have to watch out for in terms of our spending? That kind of thing. Before we get into the numbers of it though, just remember that these are in New Zealand dollars. Also, any spending that we're doing also takes into account things that we have intentionally saved up for. So just because the numbers seem to be a little high or low or whatnot, don't worry, we're fine financially. Having a look at the budget though, I'm actually pretty positive about it. I usually like to do a comparison of our current month to our previous month, and that probably stands as a valid comparison because prior to last month, we weren't recording our income. So we were only recording our expenses. So I really can only compare this month to last month because those are the only two that have like comparable data sets. Going through each of our categories though, groceries was fairly comparable with a little bit extra spent this month compared to last month. But if we have a look at food out, which is the other kind of like eating category, food out this month was like half of last month's, which is super impressive. And I think this is probably in part because I'm now working from home, so I'm not eating lunch out every day like I used to. Comparing home and household this month to last month, that is wildly different because last month we bought a dining room suite, so yeah, kind of understandable that that would be as different as it is. But I'm okay to say that it was only just under $300 this month. That's a pretty comfortable place to be for a more typical month. And in that, I know we purchased things like some new servingware, tablecloth, stuff like that. The one that I'm quite excited about is fuel because that has gone down from $260 to $78. And again, this is probably very much dictated by the fact that I'm now working from home, not going into town every day of the week, so much less fuel consumption. Unexpected bills went down from $560-ish to like $4. I have no idea what that $560 was from last month though. Okay, I've just gone and had a look. It seems that I put accommodation costs in unexpected bills. That was probably a conversation between Vogel and I. I don't know if it necessarily belongs there. I might want to put it in transport, possibly. I don't know, it's not transport, it's a holiday. Well, it's not a holiday, we're going away for a wedding. Anyways, something to think about. Expected bills, on the other hand, did shoot up, and that's because we had the rates come in, we had 2 different lots of insurance come in. I'm sure there was something else there. That's a bit, but I mean, this is the period of the year that we do pay all of those things. So that's not a typical thing monthly, it's like a typical annual thing. Personal and well-being was in a pretty similar ballpark, so 105 to 78, nothing to worry about there. Entertainment shot up a fair bit, but that's because Vogel bought himself a new computer, so that was kind of expensive, and thus that category is a fair bit higher. And that was one of the things that he'd saved up for, so understandable. Transport we didn't have anything down for, and that's probably because last month we bought flights and this month we didn't, so And gifts dropped from 300 down to 50 because I bought Rachel dinner out for her birthday. Yeah. We also have the category of business expenses, and this is mainly just recording me paying my tax, so that number is essentially just provisional tax and maybe a couple of other supplies, and that's about it. Now as the digital reset is finished, it's time to jump off the computer and have a look at my planners. So we're into the planning reset. This is effectively where I get to reflect on the month we had and plan the month ahead. So naturally, we're going to start with reflection. For the monthly reflection, I'm just doing this on the next page after my current daily logs, and you can see I have already gone and filled it in, but the sections we have are accomplished, challenges, improvements, my goal review, and then my new goals for the month ahead, September. Feel free to pause the video and have a snoop, you are more than welcome to, but just pulling out some highlights. So in terms of accomplishments, I made a reel that I was actually proud of, and I uploaded it as a short and a TikTok, because I kind of figure, like, if you're gonna make short form content, you might as well upload it to all the short form content platforms. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it, but that's what I did. I really found that daily logging was a helpful practice for me, and I also, very excitingly, had the design team pin that I designed release. That one also sold out in under 2 hours after launching, which was pretty cool. And another accomplishment is better or more timely fulfillment of my Patreon perks. In terms of challenges, the things that I listed here were energy, so just fluctuating energy, kind of trying to get used to my new energy cycles, which is why I'm tracking my energy in September. Working on tasks that didn't have clear timelines. Very much that idea of a task will take as long as you give it, and the tasks that I was working on that didn't have timelines associated with them certainly took a while. Making sure that my dreams align with the execution of these things. So for instance, having a lot of content ideas that I want to put out, but just not realistically having the time to work on all of them, so needing to be a little bit more selective. In terms of my journaling practice, I did miss my trackers because, as we've talked about before, this month I tried going back to the original bullet journal system. So didn't really have a lot in the way of monthly setup kind of stuff. So monthly log, task list. 2 trackers, one of them did not get used, which was also one of my challenges. Didn't fill in my action plan. And that leads us to the improvements, which is to actually populate the action plan. It is there to help us, so we should probably actually fill it in. I also noted here that I think it would be appropriate to do weekly and daily reflection because I feel like I'm just kind of letting life pass me by at times. I very much want to make sure that the things that I'm doing on a daily basis actually align with the goals that I've set for myself. Bringing us into the goal review. So like I said down here, it's just that idea of life getting away from me. So not necessarily working on my goals in a daily sense. In terms of the 2 goals that I set for myself, I did make progress on both of them, but one of them I have decided not to pursue any further because it just didn't excite me. I want to work on goals that actually excite me, and that one just unsurprisingly doesn't. So my new goals for September are to continue with the building consistency in my content releases, but also to have fun working on my 101 things list. If you hadn't heard about it, my 101 things list is, unsurprisingly, a list of 101 things that I want to accomplish this year. I do have a playlist where I actually work through those different things, so make sure to check the description box below for a link to that one. Now as the reflection is done though, it is time to do a brain dump. And I'm just going to do it here in my daily logs. That's kind of what the daily log is for. Things are supposed to touch the daily log first, and then at the end of the day during the migration process, they go to the spaces in your journal that they need to. Whether that be the future log, or the someday maybe list for me, or the monthly log, yada yada yada. We have, of course, already started working on this, so I'm going to transfer these ones into my journal so that they're all in one place, and add anything else I can think of. Once the brain dump is done though, it's time to jump into my pages for the month ahead. These are in my new B6 journal, and I'm very excited to use this setup. The page we're going to start with is the monthly log. It's nice and easy, it's just events, so chucking those ones in, and then we'll move into the spreads that require a little bit more thinking. Typically Tuesdays are my grocery shopping days, but I'm not going to put those in because 1, it's a regular routine, in theory, and 2, it could change. I do also have to add our Patreon hangout here, which is always something to look forward to. After this, the other pages that I'll populate are my projects list for the month, so that I know all of the different things that I want to accomplish. My actions list, because as we saw in my reflection, it's pretty important that I actually populate my actions list before the month starts. And as we're doing this reset right before a new week, I'll also populate my weekly spread. In terms of the projects list, I have written in all of the tasks that I have for Patreon, but I haven't written in my vlog channel videos or my main channel videos. This one mainly because spoilers, and this one because I might get some more vlogs edited before the end of the month, so I don't want to write them here for September if they're done in August. For the actions list, I have filled in my one-off or monthly tasks, my weekly tasks, and my daily tasks, as related to those 2 goals we talked about before. So building consistency into my content releases, and having fun working on my 101 things list. There are probably going to be some other one-off tasks that I could get done, but I kind of like having it be smaller. I feel like it's more achievable like this, and I'm eager to get working on it. We have reset our physical and digital environment, we have done some self-care for ourselves, and we're ready to tackle the month ahead. Things are good. If you wanted to check out more of my reset content, we do have a playlist on the screen here, but otherwise team, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye! Does anybody else have it that like an alarming amount of hair comes out of your head when you're conditioning? Our space is reset, our face is reset.